What's up guys, welcome back to the 30 Days of Halloween. Today's video I'm going to be showing you some really cute DIY Halloween party snacks. I've got some Reese's and Pretzels witches brooms, some cute little mummified hot dogs with croissant wraps, and then some pizza witches fingers, I guess is what I'm going to call them, spooky fingers. We're going to start with those. So the first thing you're going to need is a pizza. You could either make a pizza, more power to you if you do, or you could get a frozen one. I just got this DiGiorno one because it's Brock's favorite kind. So I got this. I think everybody knows how to make frozen pizza, so I'm not going to go too much into this. You're just going to follow the directions on the back, rip that bad boy open, and get it ready to go in the oven. You're just going to pop that in the oven for however long it tells you to bake on the back of your pizza, or if you're making your own, follow whatever recipe you're using. Close that up and then set the timer. So I just did mine for 19 minutes because it said either 18 or 20, so obviously I did 19. So while that is in there, I'm going to go ahead and get the little fingernails ready. This looked so weird. I fast forwarded this clip and it looked very abrupt. So anyway, you're just going to open up this red bell pepper and cut it into little slivers, and we are going to start to create the fingernails. My pizza fingers are going to have their fingernails on fleek, so we are going to be doing the coffin-shaped nail. This is totally unnecessary. You could easily just cut it into a square or, whatever, but I want it to be all fancy, so we're doing the coffin-shaped nail and some stiletto nails, because these pizza fingers gonna be styling. So when you're done cutting your nails, they should look a little something like this. And then you're obviously going to let the pizza cool once it comes out of the oven so you can easily handle it, since we're going to be cutting these into very specific little strips. I would say I cut these into about 1-inch strips. I could have easily done them a little bit smaller and it might have looked better, but the cheese was kind of coming off. I don't know, that part didn't work so well. So then after that, I'm just going to cut that into half. This obviously was a circle pizza. It would have worked really well if you had a square pizza too, so if you have that option, do it. And then stick your nails on and you got yourself some pizza fingers. So quickly I wanted to say, I thought it would be really cool to cut the top of the finger into more of a circle shape. I think it would have looked a lot better, and I literally just thought about that. So if you try this, kind of circle off the finger and let me know how it works. So now we're going to move right along to our little hot dog mummies. So here's the thing. You could use the little mini hot dogs to do this. I couldn't find those, so I just did the full length ones. It's totally up to you. But I just got some regular croissant. Again, you could totally always use your own recipes. You don't have to buy everything pre-bought, but I just wanted to show it with the pre-bought stuff because I feel like that's probably what most people would do. So anyway, I'm going to be unraveling these croissants and just laying them out onto a sheet of wax paper. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and get my pan ready. I just sprayed a little bit of olive oil into my glass pan. You could use a cookie sheet. I don't have a cookie sheet, so I just use the glass pan. So I'm just laying down a paper towel now, and then I'm going to be putting the hot dogs onto it. It works a lot better if you kind of get the excess moisture off the outside of the hot dogs before you try to wrap the croissant, because it will stick to it a lot easier if it's not sliding all over the place. So I just laid all of those down and then folded them up and just kind of gently pressed down to soak that up. So what I was doing here was cutting little strips out of the croissant. I actually found later that it works way better if you just kind of rip it off, just a tiny little thin strip. So there really was no need for this step. I just kind of wanted to leave this in here to let you guys know that it was so much easier to just rip it off. So now what we're going to do is pulled this off. As you can see, it just didn't really work very well. This was actually my first time making all of these, so there was a little bit of trial and error involved with making all of these. So you guys can kind of learn from my mistakes, because I left all the mistakes in here to let you know what worked best. So again, you can just rip it off and then make it into kind of a messy pattern. Since it's a mummy, you don't need to worry about it being like perfectly wrapped. So I see, look at that. That was way easier. So I just took thin strips and wrapped it around in a really irregular pattern to kind of mimic what it would look like if it was a mummy. And that's kind of what you want it to look like. So after that, you are going to throw all of those in the oven for whatever is directed on the croissant roll container or whatever is in your recipe. So as you can see, now they are nice and golden brown and they just look so good. I don't know what it is about this, like I guess it's an appetizer, but it just reminds me of my childhood so much. Little pigs in a blanket, and so I loved this idea for Halloween. So once those are cooled down, I put some ranch in a little baggie and cut a hole and piped on some eyeballs like I was frosting a cake or something. So this worked out pretty well. I couldn't quite figure out the pupils, but I decided later that it would work really well if you just like cut up an olive and put that for the little pupil of the eye. So anyway, now we're on to the witch's brooms. You need some Reese's. You need some pretzels. This is probably the easiest one that I'm going to show you, so I saved it for last. So you are just going to go ahead and unwrap your Reese's. So here's the thing, you want these to be room temperature when you're unwrapping them, but you have to be very careful when they're at room temperature unwrapping them, because there's always that one strip of chocolate just wants to hang on to that wrapper. I don't know why. So be very careful unwrapping it so you can make them look as cute as possible. So that's just what I was doing here. So the first time I literally just shoved a pretzel in and I was like, yeah, that's gonna work, and it totally didn't. So the second time I got smart and just took a little knife and twirled it around the top to make a hole for the pretzel to go into, so I totally didn't bust the chocolate, and it worked like a charm. I can't talk in this voiceover, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's been a day. So I'm just going to keep repeating this process. If there already is a tiny little hole like there was in that one, where some of the chocolate just kind of pulled back, you can easily stick them in that way. But if there's not, definitely take the knife to dig a little hole for the pretzel so it doesn't like bust it open. So there's the little witch's brooms, and that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. These were 3 super cute ideas that I found online for Halloween party appetizers or snacks, and I wanted to try them myself and share them with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.